at All In, he had to do the pre-match introductions, and he came into the locker room backstage and told me what he was going to say, and he was very proud. He only had one match, and he wanted to do this, and he was real excited, and he told me what he would say, and I said, perfect. You know what you're doing. You're the most senior referee in the industry. Say whatever. You're the boss. And it seemed like it was all good. So fast forward to we're in the actual ring, and it is only a millisecond, but you can see the look on my face of I put this show together, and it's about to go downhill right here. You can see, because when Earl gets the mic, and it's only a millisecond, instead of saying, boys, which was what he kept saying the first time, he literally just goes, boys, and then he comes back, but you can see me give him the old like let's come on, man, let's do this here, you know. He nailed it after that, but it was a terrifying moment. Terrifying moment. He did so good in that match, though, man. I love Earl.
Imagine that a wrestler who has been this massive world champion is told, here's polka dots, and he made it part of his act and got it over and made it big, and like you say, had all these great feuds. So who else could do that? Only Dusty Rhodes.
Yeah, honestly, I think most people would think today, if you were like, hey, check out your canvas-style polka dots, would probably, oh, it's clearly a rib. It's not a real thing. He had a knack for that, but also he wouldn't tout that element. You know, here and there you hear him say like, well, it got over and I was successful. But Dusty was also real keen on doing your job. Like for a big dreamer and a big go-getter and not a yes man, he was also very aware, because he had been people's boss before. Hey, this is what Vince told me to do. Vince is writing the checks. So I'm going to try to do it the best I can. Today, all of us, I'm as guilty of it as anybody. We complain the moment we see our favorite lose a match or do a stupid segment. It's too soon. You know, it's too quick to complain. The cream rises and the real talent will endure. And Dusty had that endurance in the industry. He could endure polka dots. He always, I don't know if you guys remember, the night I hit Rey Mysterio, and the first time I came out with the mask, and I took Rey's mask off, Dusty was there to make me apologize. And he shook Rey's hand, but then he held on, and I hit Rey. And some dumbass writer, I don't know his name, he said, oh, I'm real worried, Dusty. I think that's going to make you a heel. And he leaned back. Hey, man. I'm Dusty Rhodes. He goes, and this writer's looking at me and goes, I'm no heel, and I ain't no baby face. I'm a goddamn star, baby. And this writer was still, like, confused. And I remember that Michael Hayes like chimes in, like, what he's saying is he ain't gonna be any less over for going out there and doing that spot. Get out here now. Like, they were like trying to figure out, and like that's, you know, Dream was special, man. And one of the coolest things about lately in NXT, and you know, some of the people he helped there, but also the year after he passed, the Hall of Fame. I didn't go to the Hall of Fame, but I was sitting at a bar in Lakeland, Florida, and my phone just kept buzzing and buzzing and buzzing. And it was people saying, hey, did you see DDP thanked your dad? Did you see Rock and Roll Express thanked him? And that was really touching, because he did give all these people so many opportunities and so many jobs. And it's so cool to see history remember it versus like washing it out, you know? And I think I'm more proud of what he did as a promoter and a businessman than ever of what he did as a wrestler, because some of this stuff, I mean, we're still doing it. It's cool that it endures, you know?
So you've talked 100 times about Stardust and how in the beginning you didn't want to be the mini Goldust, but that's kind of what they ended up aesthetically making you look like. So I guess like you're Stardust, and then obviously Dusty passes away. Everybody wants you to come back as Cody Rhodes. That's what everybody feels is the right thing to happen. But Stardust continues. what was the last moment for you that you remember enjoying Stardust? And for you, was there a moment where you kind of went, I just don't think he's feeling it anymore? Like, was there because you're there every night, you're doing the ring announcing, you're getting to see your husband up close and personal. Was there just a point where you were like, I think this Stardust thing's probably done for him now?
I know there's two incidents for me. A lot of people were thinking, after he passed, I would come back as Cody Rhodes, and at the time, Stephen Amell had signed up to do the rivalry with Stardust, and that was my idea. So I thought, well, that's what I want to do because it's cheap. And Dusty hated the posthumous, do it for Dusty. He hated those type of storylines. He hated when people would say, such and such would love it. He hated that. And I always remembered that. So I wanted to continue with Stardust, see if I could make it work. I knew I had the cool thing coming up. But there were two moments that were just the light bulb went off, that it wasn't a matter of how hard I worked. It was a matter of how smart I could work. And Royal Rumble, I came out, and I always loved the Royal Rumble. I was at a great showing in the Royal Rumble, and I thought that was the way, I was going to keep trending upwards in it. And I come out and do my entrance, and you slide in, and that's your 30 seconds. That's yours. And they're big on make that matter, It's a big moment. And anyways, I slid in the ring and whatever. I did something with AJ Styles, somebody else. But then later when I watched it, none of it was on because they were filming some angle with Bray Wyatt and stuff. And they had used my entrance and my beginning as the segment that they were going to do it. So it was like really just that moment was gut-wrenching. And then more on like a silly side of things, I'm wrestling in some sixth man in Charlotte, North Carolina. And do you guys remember Mojo Rawley? Do you guys remember Mojo Rawley? I said that like he's like super gold. Sorry. He's supposed to make this big comeback, and he comes in the ring, and he's like dancing all around with Zach. And he's dancing so hard that he hits himself in the nose. And he broke his nose. So his nose is just profusely bleeding. And I wasn't having it. The ref's going, he's bleeding. Cool, he's on the apron. It's a six-man. Wipe his nose. Like, he's on the apron. And it's not like I'm like, hey, like he's right next to you. And anyways, they called the match. They literally, like, Zach body slammed me and was stay down. So on this body slam. And after that, I remember going to the back, and I don't know why Mojo's broken nose, but just the fact that had happened and I'd been in this awful segment, those were two, like, moments, I suppose, and that Mojo's broken nose is a reason.
You trained to be a wrestler, but in WWE, you're an announcer, and you're playing ball, and you're kind of, okay, I'll do what I need to do. So you're in your own situation where you're not really fulfilled. For you, you're there doing the ring announcing, you're going through your own thing. Was there a moment where you realized, for him, I think Stardust is maybe just not going to be the thing that either he or we hoped that it could be?
Well, the way that Stardust was pitched to me was that it was a temporary thing to turn the brothers on each other. It was supposed to be a short-lived, creative story. And I thought, that could be cool. Like, that could be really cool. And then, like you and I have talked about recently, it seemed like the plan just everybody lost interest in it except for the people who were in it. He gained more interest. He worked harder. He developed this insane character that literally, the minute he put that outfit on, he became that and nothing else. But my thing was, how could we lose sight of what we were doing so much that this thing that's been going like a machine here, like this guy's gone above and beyond what was expected. Now he's lost. How does that happen? Like, people got into Stardust. I still have people tell me all the time, that was my favorite thing. I really enjoyed it, whatever. If you have figured a way to captivate the audience, even if it wasn't exactly the way you thought, why not continue to? Why just let it die? Like, that mixed with problems I was having on my own, with my own stuff, that led me to be kind of not a team player anymore. Like, if you're...
Don't nod your head at that.
But, I mean, if you're doing the work, which is a thing that's said in this,
right, do the work.
The Nightmare Family, do the work. If you're doing the work and you are going above and beyond, and you're even learning to love something you didn't think you were gonna love, why then do you get pushed in a different direction, like backwards? Like it's almost as if, damn you for doing your job well. Like. What?
Brandy we had kind of like built up kind of this such a big chip on our shoulders that we weren't good for each other, as far as we were just angry after each show. But Brandy was way better at voicing it. There's literally, I'll never forget it. I told her, I said, I think I'm going to ask for my release this week. We're at TV. And she goes by Vince's office, and literally the door is open, and I've never done this in my life, never even thought of doing that. And she was thinking of her own stuff, and she had been pitching stuff to him, and he was supposed to look at her videos, and she sticks her head in Vince's office. We're going to talk today, all right?
That's not true. No.
Everybody else stands outside the door for just long enough that they realize.
That's not true. Otherwise, I don't think I would have made it to asking for my release. I think I would have been given it right away.
Isn't it great to be in the middle of a domestic?
I will tell you, I had been frustrated with the whole. I had asked a lot of people, hey. If I want to talk to Vince, what do I need to do? And a lot of people are, oh, well, you're the ring announcer. I don't know.
You got to fill out a form and then go to this office.
I had an okay relationship with Vince because one thing I will say of everybody in that company is Vince has done all the jobs. So he appreciates a job well done. And he frequently would tell me, you're doing great. And tell me details like, hey, the way you did this, it reminded me of this, and I really like that. Thank you. So I can never discredit him for not paying attention and not knowing what his people are doing, because he paid attention from the top to the bottom, which is a credit to him. But, I wanted to talk to him and couldn't get the right answers. So one day, Lana and Rusev were waiting outside of his office, and this is the day that you're talking about, and frequently they would bogart outside of his office because Lana thought that, he was in love with her, I think. And so I just said, hey, you know what? I'm just going to do this. And I walked right past them, and I opened the door, and I said, hey, Vince, do you have a second? And he said, yeah, come in, close the door. And I literally looked at them and said, I'll just be a few minutes. And close the door.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's give up for Brandy Rhodes having some balls here.